an evolutionary moment for this leadership team. And within this crisis, there is an opportunity for a new possibility to create a genuine culture of fairness, inclusivity, and transparency. And there was a lot that needed to be composted. So I'm going to work with the team, and the first thing we're going to do is make the conversational environment whole and complete. I don't want the team to repress and depress what they're feeling. I want them to express it. I have spoken with them, and they're already defeated. So the next thing I'm going to do is actuate a mindset reset, because where the mind goes, energy flows, and I want to calibrate the team to successful change. My first experience in conflict resolution and mediation was as a plaintiff in a civil lawsuit. In the late 1990s, I won a settlement. I sued the Catholic Church in Canada, and in mediation, I won a landmark settlement. And that was really an initiation for me into the transformative and restorative power of the mediation process. And that led to my studying and getting certified and working in the field. There's sensory data that we get from being in the presence of other people face to face that we don't get in the remote space. So how do we bring our full focus and attention into our embodied presence and privilege that moment with everything that we have in terms of our capacities and our potential? That's what we're going to learn tonight. The skills of embodied emotional intelligence.
We have addressed a little bit, but I'd like to hear directly from Colleen. How can mindfulness be applied to workplace conflict?
So I'm going to echo a lot of what's already been said, but I'm going to start with a quote from Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl was a neurologist and a psychiatrist, an author, a philosopher, and speaker who survived a concentration camp during the Holocaust. And Viktor Frankl said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. So the most powerful intervention point to apply a mindfulness practice is between stimuli and the response reactivity, to stretch that space. What gives us actionable access to creating that space? Well, it harkens on what you've all been saying. And so let's say that from leadership, we have an agreement that we're all on Team Human, that our intentionality is to be practicing mindful practices in order to live into our ethos of being on Team Human, and we're all in this together. So one of the intervention practices that could be applied is stop. You have the stimuli, you feel the clutch, and you stop. You stop. You take 3 deep breaths. It goes back to what Sherman said. You observe your breath and your body. And you proceed in compassion and open communication with a commitment to investigate your inner experience. So you've stopped. And that there's a neurotransmitter in the brain that you've activated now that actually goes beyond your reactivity and allows you to move from a me, my, mine perspective to a we perspective. And then let's say you've codified and operationalized the next step in your organization, which is we commit and agree to be in a discovery mode of communication. What is a discovery mode of communication? It's open and we don't know. So we're committed to discover, to be surprised, to stumble and fumble into a new understanding and a new idea.
Perception makes reality. There is an invisible and a visible realm to conflict. Often we have an internal state during conflict, and we conflate that with an external threat. Inherent in conflict and in every communication is the need for safety, to have a felt sense of safety and to feel seen, heard, and valued. At the heart of my work is an invitation to individuals, teams, and organizations to engage in necessary, courageous, and compassionate inquiry. This field of inquiry is fertile territory. It provides actionable access to co-create and cultivate workplace environments of high performance, optimal communication and collaboration, where everyone has a felt sense of shared dignity and belonging.